I got a whole lot of comments to go through. So let's just take it one by one. First one is from the Multi-Purpose Kitchen Heroes. So I love a kitchen tool that can do multiple things, not just one thing. Those specialty gadgets, especially the avocado tools, I feel like those to me are the most annoying. It's just like, it's just used to cut an avocado, like just use a knife. Anyways, my rant aside, these are kitchen equipment, not tools. I think that both are synonymous, equipment, tools, you know, utensils, it's kind of all the same. A lot of times if you drop your phone in liquid, it's still operating even when it's submerged. So if it's already off, leave it off. But if it's still on, then turn it off. That's the scenario here. All right, glad we clarified. These are, oh, we're reaching way back. This is from an old video, how to plunge a clogged toilet without a plunger. Granted, I already had a plunger. It was not effective unclogging the bowl. However, when the hot water with the soap was introduced, note that that a very large container is necessary for this task. Yeah, I guess you'll need to get the hot water, enough hot water in a big enough container. The bowl unclogged itself after 2 rounds of hot water being poured into the bowl. So glad it worked. And thanks for trying it. Yeah, it really works. Funny enough, kind of maybe this will be a long story, but a funny story with this, back in college, well, it was post-college, but years ago, way before Problem Solved, a friend had come over, and right before they left, they used the restroom. Well, they left, and me and my roommate went into the bathroom and we're like, oh gosh, this is a serious situation in here. The toilet was overflowing. We didn't have a plunger. We didn't own a plunger at the time. So we were on Google looking up every remedy to unclog. We tried the coat hanger trick. We tried a whole bunch of stuff. And the one that worked was the hot water and soap. So I actually knew about this one ages ago. But the one tip to reiterate here, make sure the water isn't too hot. You want hot water, not like super boiling, scalding water, because the heat can crack your tank. The porcelain's kind of sensitive to heat, so you can like crack and damage your toilet if the water is too hot. So little word of advice there. Usually if your sink water gets really hot, you can use that, or just bring up some water to a simmer, let it cool down a minute, and then pour it in. Custom gifts for this holiday season. A recent video. And I loved doing anything gift guides, anything holiday related. It's my favorite time of year, so I really get into it. This Christmas, I'll be renaming my firstborn Kristopher. He's 31 now and may not be excited about it. Mom and Dad's always gets first say. Oh, that's really funny. Well, thank you. It's a good name. Enjoy it. So here's one on getting rid of grease stains. I can't wait to try this. Shout hasn't been working. I wonder if it's too late. So I've had some shirts with older stains, and yeah, a little touch of dish soap should be able to help for those older stains. You know, you pre-treat, wash it, and see how it does. The key here with any stain, even set-in stains, is don't dry it. Treat it, wash it. If it's still not out, try it again. You don't want to wash it like 10 times, but maybe once or twice is okay, but don't dry it. If the stains still persist, maybe try another method. You know, pre-treat it, soak it for longer. Actually, you may not even need to throw it in the wash. I would just rub some soap on there, or even some OxyClean, depending on what kind of material it is. If it's not like a darker color or something, you don't want to bleach anything out. But yeah, pre-treat it, rinse it out in the sink. If it's still there, try it again. How to clean suede shoes. Bro, you are a genius. I've been doing eraser brush method, mythos, but never thought about the nail file. This-ish, literally the last step needed to get these certain marks the brush couldn't. This is what I'm here for, Problem Solved, to give you solutions that are practical that you can use. Maybe you've been missing something. I didn't know about this for the longest time until I researched it and figured it out and shared it with all of you. So glad people are trying things and it's working out. From the gift wrap video, how to wrap gifts with no tape. Oh, one of my favorites. This was fun to experiment with. I had to try it a few times. With any new technique, and especially this no wrap technique, I would say you're not gonna wrap one gift perfectly the first time. I had to try it a couple times to figure it out, and I had to watch reference videos and figure out the method and the technique a bunch of times before I got it. Not a bunch of times, it doesn't take that long. It probably took me like 5 or 10 minutes, but take a piece of paper and experiment with it. You can use the same one, you don't have to ball it up and throw it away, just unfold it, flatten it out, and try it again on a small package, and you'll get it after a couple attempts. So this was, okay, I'm done. All of these wrapping wizards need to just do this for me, LOL. I will happily pay. Venmo is right here. I'll wrap your gifts. Ship them to me. I'll wrap them, ship them to you. Just kidding. No, you can do this, trust me. A lot of people think they can't do simple, like crafty things. It's all about patience and mindset. I believe everybody's capable of everything if you give yourself the time and patience to actually figure it out. Everyone's capable, just give it a try. Or pay to have somebody do it for you. 3 ways to freeze your herbs. Pipe the butter into the tray, not a greasy mess, and probably less waste. I love that idea. So I think, spooning the butter into the herb butter into the ice cube tray. If you put it in a Ziploc baggie or a piping bag, you can squeeze into the individual ones. Very nitpicky, I think that's a great idea. The only thing is, it just kind of makes more waste, like wasting a baggie, wasting I guess if you're using reusable piping bags, that's true. Good tip, let's just use a reusable piping bag and just wash it. Sounds good. Cookware 101, the best pots and pans for durability. Can you tell me more about taking care of the cast iron skillet? A cast iron skillet, if you properly care for it, will last you a lifetime, generations even. I think my aunt has my grandmother's cast iron skillets. Like, these things can go generations if you use them, and you can even restore them. So say you leave water in it, or it rusts, or something happens to your cast iron skillet, there's methods to restore it and bring it back to life. It may take a lot of elbow grease and some time, but it's definitely possible. The biggest thing you can do is, even if some people think this is a complete no-no, but even if you put soap in your cast iron skillet, a little bit of soap is fine. Just make sure you season it afterwards and dry it completely. So what you'll wanna do is clean it, scrub it good. If you use a little bit of soap, that's okay. Just lightly cover it with some oil and throw it back into the oven. And even in that case, I would do a hot oven just so that oil can like really penetrate and lock in and seal and protect that cast iron. And then you're free to use it again. It's kind of like a 3-ish step process, which shouldn't take you too long. Meal prep chicken and rice. So I did an old video about easy, simple chicken and rice meals. And I did a more recent video and somebody commented, yo, can I do this in a rice cooker? Yes, you can do a simple, complete meal, vegetables, proteins, whatever you want with the rice in the rice cooker. It's basically a mini crock pot. People think that the rice cooker is like a unique special device. It can cook a ton of food. If you're ever hung up on like ratios and proportions and how long and what to put in there, just look up some recipes. There's tons of recipes you can find, and then tweak them and tailor them to your taste. I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is if you find a recipe online and you don't like it, like say it has onions in it and you don't like onions, omit the onions. You'll be happier and the recipe should come out just fine. Like, little tweaks like that, like seasonings, like add your own flavors, take away flavors you don't like. As long as the water and proteins and the cup measurements are all relatively the same, you should have great success. Tons of meals you can make in the rice cookers, and even now, I have an old rice cooker from, when was it? From like college. It still works, I'm still using it. It's still in good shape because I take care of it, I'm still using it. Nowadays, they have like the combination devices where it's like a rice cooker, an Instant Pot, a crock pot, it sears. So those multi-cookers are much more functional because you'll be able to one pan, one pot dish in them. So if it's time for an upgrade, do that. But if you have a simple rice cooker, go ahead and make a complete meal in it. It's great, especially for people who have like smaller spaces or not a lot of cooking devices, or even if you're new to cooking, just throw stuff in the rice cooker and make a full meal. 400th comment. So helpful. I'm glad. 400 comments, that's pretty good. I'm excited about that. Thank you for being number 400. That's a good ratio. Okay, more comments on that one, please. Meal prep chicken and rice recipes. Another one from the chicken and rice meal prep. I never knew Black & Decker made rice cookers. Power drills, rice cookers, they do it all. I love those companies that kind of make everything. I think Black & Decker is one of them for sure. There's also Philips. I was thinking this with Philips because I got one of those electric toothbrushes and I looked up Philips and like Philips makes a ton of stuff. Who else? Samsung. I feel like Samsung is the worst offender when it comes to stick to one thing and be good at it. Samsung makes everything. You can have a Samsung fridge, a Samsung phone, a Samsung stove, a Samsung TV, a Samsung microwave. Samsung, if it's in your house, Samsung has a version of it. I like this guy. I do have suede shoes. Good idea for me. Good ideas for me. Great, yeah, try it out. Thank you so much. I love it when people are kind in the comments, and I say it every time I'm going through comments. I am so grateful for everybody that comments because they're either positive or if somebody leaves a negative comment, the commenters do the hard work for me and say like, hey, pay attention to the video or you're being ridiculous. So, you know, I invite all sorts of comments as long as we're civil, as long as we're kind to each other. So I really appreciate it when people reach out and say nice things. Thank you. How to froth milk without a milk frother. This was a fun one. Coffee is a big part of my life, so I love doing problem solved videos around coffee. So frothing milk. Basically, I shake a bottle really fast and boom. Yeah, you can do this too. I do this in a mason jar. You do the milk froth, and I think maybe I did it in the video, but yeah, either one of those milk frothers like this or shake it up. Do you mean a baby bottle? Do you think they mean a baby bottle? Maybe they mean a baby bottle. But yeah, all you have to do is shake it in anything with a tightly good sealed lid. Wait, did you just learn that his name is Kristopher? Wait, did we, yes. Hi, my name is Kristopher, host of Problem Solved. Pleasure to meet you. How to remove strip screws. Thank you, I've tried a few things, but have not tried pliers yet. Your toolbox should have everything you need to try and remove that screw. Might need to do a video on how to use a power drill. This tripped me up forever, like probably most of my life. Yeah, I know how to use tools, build things, you know, IKEA shelves, yada, yada, yada. But the power drills, you know, you need to learn how to use the settings. So there's like the torque and all the settings and stuff. That is what helps you prevent stripping screws. So maybe a new video topic coming up in the how to use a power drill, how to use the settings with the torque and all that, because that's how you prevent strip screws. How to clean AirPods properly. I use hairpins. So yeah, if you're using anything like a hairpin or like maybe a needle or something to clean your AirPods, just be really careful and delicate. The thing you want to avoid is, you know, there's like the little mesh screen where the sound comes out. You want to avoid puncturing that or like pushing any debris inside of it. So you really want to, you know, sweep things out of it versus pushing things in there, because that's just gonna clog it up over time and your AirPods are gonna need to be replaced or repaired or whatever. So just be a little careful, a little cautious. Different tools, whatever you have around, that's what I wanna inspire people to do. There's the techniques I show, but just kind of get a little creative. If you don't have the proper tools, look around your house. You might have a good alternative that you can use to clean or do these like little tasks. How to make the best grilled cheese sandwich. You lost me with the mayo. I'm not the biggest mayo fan. Well, I should say I only like mayo in certain occasions, and there's only like one brand of mayo I really like. It's like the Best Foods. Like all other ones like taste funny to me, but for some reason I can eat Best Foods. That's just me. But if you're not a mayo fan, it doesn't taste like mayo. Like once you grill it and cook it, it's not that creaminess. You know, if you don't like mayo for the texture, grilling it gets rid of that. If you don't like mayo for the flavor, grilling it with the cheese kind of gets rid of it. So give it a try. The butter method, if you're really against mayo or you don't even have it in your house, just use the butter method. Like, it's totally fine. But I would say give it a try. You should wrap your gift diagonally. It's if you're a little short on paper, and you can get cleaner lines. Try it. I've tried it with several different shapes and sizes of boxes. It should work. The main technique is just to make sure when you fold up that first flap that it covers two corners. I think that's the method that I started out with. So as long as you're covering two corners, the rest of the paper should fold up just nicely. I hope that made sense. But with anything, experiment. And yes, there's anomalies out there. I'm sure if you're trying to wrap a box with a golf club and you have paper that's only this big, it's not gonna work. There's only so much geometry and physics can do. Wrapping diagonally for most square and semi-rectangle boxes should work, you know, just as long as you have enough paper. So give it a try. How to remove peels from sweater. I just had to do this. I wore one of it's winter right now, not to date this video, but it's winter. I'm wearing my sweaters and they've got all the peelies on it and I wasn't. I forgot to bring my fabric shaver. So I had to use a lint roller, which I did have, and you can use an old razor. Thought I was clicking a key and peel bit. Classic. We're not related. Actually, I should do, maybe we are. I don't know him personally, but wouldn't be surprised if I'm not. What is it? 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon? 7 degrees of Jordan Peele? Why you should wrap your gifts diagonally. Not all heroes wear capes. Thank you. It's really meant a lot. How to open a stuck jar lid. This actually worked, thank you. So glad it worked. Try it out. Let me know if it works. All my tips, try them out. Let me know if they work. And if you're running into any problems, let me know, because I might be able to do a update video or kind of like a caveat video. I run into that sometimes where I learn a new technique or a new method and I'm like, oh, the old one I did, you know, works good, but this one works even better. Or this one approaches the problem, you know, slightly differently. How to disinfect your toothbrush. I just had to do this. I just got over a cold, so I'm like, I gotta disinfect that toothbrush because you're putting all those old germs back in your mouth. Gross. First I soak with baking soda and water, then vinegar and water, then rinse with hot water and dry it. Works amazing. I do this once a week. If that method works for you, wonderful. I like the simple method. I buy that box of denture tablets. 15 minutes, you're good to go. Once a week, done. But if you like a more stringent method and makes you feel better, go ahead. Try that out. Those are all my favorite cleaning things. Baking soda, vinegar, hot water, done. Meal prep chicken and rice recipes. PSA that you can use a rice cooker to cook dry beans and even bake banana bread and cake. I definitely need to try this. This is what I was trying to remember last week whilst wrapping the boxes for the tree at work. So happy this worked out for you. Breakfast style stuffed peppers. I've come to find out that cutting peppers lengthwise so you're left with 2 halves and then filling them allows for better presentation. That's actually true. You normally do it standing up instead of folded down. I did standing up just because that's the traditional way and I wanted to cut it in half and see like the full like omelet egg in there. But yeah, you could do it the other way where your green bell pepper's more like a boat, you know? I think that's a great method. And that works great if you wanna do it in a baking dish. It kind of usually lies in the baking dish better, and it'll cut down a little bit on the cooking time. The whole peppers usually take a long time, so if you do a half, it should cut the cook time a little bit. And yeah, you don't want a mushy pepper, because I like a little firm pepper, and you still want it to hold up enough to hold whatever's inside. I did the breakfast stuffed peppers. One thing that was getting to me, so yeah, I said that the cook time was about 45 minutes. The size of your peppers could vary, so it could be a little less. But what I wanted to get at is this is a meal prep situation. You're making several of these ahead and you can have them for a couple days. So that's why the time doesn't really matter. And with anything that takes a long time, you prepare it, it's super easy to prepare, you put it in the oven, go do something else then. Do the dishes, get ready for work, and they'll be hot and ready when you're ready. It's all about planning and, you know, scheduling it out properly. It's not like you're just waiting there, need to leave the house and you're waiting 45 minutes for your peppers. No, do it early or meal prep with it. It's not supposed to cook instantly. Easy tips for cleaning your hat. Homie said, no cap, love it, great video. While I am an elder millennial and I don't like to play the generation game, you know, I just try to be myself. You're such an innocent, gentle soul. God bless you. And thank you for this. I've been trying to figure out how to freeze vegetables properly. Happy holidays. Well, thank you. And enjoy your frozen vegetables. What a lovely comment. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Cookware 101, the best pots and pans for durability. I still don't understand how skillets can get clean if you can't wash them. I still don't understand how skillets can get clean if you can't wash them. Am I in brain fog? I don't think I understand what that comment means. Like a cast iron skillet. Okay, put up that Charlie from, is his name Charlie? Could not connect the dots. Okay, let's try this again. I think you need to like reframe your idea of wash. Due to the nature of the cast iron skillet, yes, you're not supposed to put soap in it. That doesn't mean it's not clean. Hot water is all you need to get it clean. And then to get it dry, you're reheating it. You're either putting it in the oven or you're putting it in the stove on heat, and that's gonna kill everything. So there's not, as long as you get rid of the food particles and you wash it with hot water, you should be good. It's clean. You don't need to scrub it with soap. You don't need to disinfect it. To each their own with cleanliness in their house. But a lot of things, you don't need to spray with bleach and wash it down. Washing should be simple and easy. If it's stainless steel or even non-stick, even though I prefer to not use non-stick or suggest people don't use non-stick, anything in your house, especially your cookware, if you're taking care of it properly, it's clean and good to use. That was a lie. I spent a lot of time on that.